The director will like check in and make sure it's still good.
Yeah.
But in theater, in TV and film, there's no time when it's like, okay, you're on your own. Like,
yeah.
that's not a
daily meditation is a must. Like, I like am trying to remember what it was like before that. Before being like, I need to meditate every day.
Maybe you don't want to remember.
I know, because I'm like,
to search for health insurance and, oh, don't get me going. Not you, it's me. I brought it up. Like, don't get me going. There's so much. It's so uncertain that in so many fields it's just like, oh, this is the plan. Take the plan.
Yeah.
Back in time, there were people who were paid specifically to do it, be a court jester,
Yeah.
or like, I don't know what this is like, but
juggling. I see it.
The mentality that being in an undervalued position, that only when you have great success will someone suddenly be more impressed with you than if you did almost anything else. Like, it's like this weird thing. It's like, well, if I'm just a human being trying to do this, like, oh, really? What have I seen you in? And then you get to name drop somebody or be like, oh, I was on this thing that was actually in the world or whatever. It's like, oh, I could never do it. It's like fawning over.
It's so weird.
When you could technically always be at your prime working hour, I mean, that's a lot. So I think
that's a lot. Also, if it's your prime working hour, I need more dollars per hour. Like, you can't be like, you're going to always be thinking about working, because if you're making a penny, you like to actually get to $1, that's
you need a lot of
time.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You need like 100.
Exactly.
Like about 100.
You need about 100 something all the time instead of resting.
Yes.
So but so like I started writing.
That's part of the reason I want to do this project. I'm interested in, like, what does that do to shift? This is a global traumatic event. Like, I have never had more in common with like random distant relatives in Argentina that have my last name and otherwise I know nothing about them. Like, I've never had more in common with everyone on the face of the earth at the same time other than being a human being. So it's like, wow. So I'm just like interested in the artistic openness, or there's an exhaustion that comes to with it. But anyway, thank you for like sharing all of that. I love hearing about that. Are there other things that you're like, I'd like a chance to say this?
Angela Bassett, I love you. I think hopefully I'll get another chance to say that again, because I think she is. What's Love Got to Do with it? I was 9 and I watched that movie. It was like, oh, this is what the power of like acting is.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The day before, I had had it up to here with Full House. And I was like, why am I watching this crappy shit? I hate this show so much. I would watch it. And I was young too. And I'd be I hate this show. And I would watch it. And then I'd still watch Family Matters. And I was like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
it kind of goes back to the thing about authenticity that you were talking about, like finding the thing that's true and like, sorry, I'm going to say it. Like, what is truth?
I'm here for it. I'm totally here for that.
I don't know, but it's still something to aim for, I think.
Absolutely. At all times.
Love
I know
that.
It's like this huge, like eye-rolling word, I guess, to some people, but like...
Oh, I'm a storyteller.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Like, you need those. Like, you make fun of me, but you need this in your life. You need stories. We need action people.
Absolutely. It is like something that we can't ever get rid of.
What are friendships at their essence? What is theater at their essence? What is exercise at its essence? Believe me, I've been asking that. I've not been to the gym all year since January. I've been gesticulating more on Zoom in this conversation than I have in a long time, because it's like, normally I'm like, I am on Zoom. It just feels so different. It's like this weird box, and I'm Jewish, we gesticulate a lot.
It's fun. Thank you for listening to me blab and talk, and
It was absolutely my pleasure.
Because I can't remember half the stuff I said, so.
Well, it's recorded. It's on here.
Oh, okay.
Is a corner of my apartment.
Great.
I like to say I put the studio in studio apartment. So it's
That's a bird on it. Ah, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Thank you.
Wow. And he's on a fence.
Sorry to cut you off. Somebody is like blowing leaves outside, like a chainsaw. A neighbor of mine uses the garage in the apartment building as like a mechanic shop.
Man, Zoomprov are doing the best that they can. But improv is just like the live experience. Like being able to watch someone make it up on the spot and like watch them figure it out as you're figuring it out.
Like you can't really, I'm sure I'm very annoying a lot on Zoom, but it's like, I don't think it's like in that kind of way.
I think you're doing great.
I don't know how to like fake strangle someone on Zoom. Like it's,
Right.
you have to like I don't, you know, like I don't know how I would like match it up so that you would get that. You wouldn't,
I don't know either. Like my head's cut off in yours.
Exactly. It's like, I really like being like a gross guy, you know, and like I love being a gross guy. I love that. So it's like, I can't do that on Zoom. It's like, what?
Yeah, some of that stuff just doesn't translate, right? It's like being able to, I mean, one of the biggest things in some of those levels is like literally you're doing a whole class on object work. And it's just like, how weird is it to watch someone on camera like mime just like doing this stuff?
But like you said, it's beautiful that it's happening, and like it does serve a function. Like I think we're all trying to adapt. I think artists have had to really rethink a lot of their art form.
I'm pretty just going with the flow right now.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a plant dad, and I've been brewing some kombucha. So I'd say you're missing something, fill it with something else.
We very well may be, a lot of us, planting seeds that we don't fully appreciate are going to grow into stuff that was unimaginable to us.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be super dramatic, but it's like that wouldn't have happened.
Such a strange time for everybody. What you just did is such a perfect example of how artists will make something out of anything. Like, that's how the brain, you know, the people who are drawn to the arts and are able to stay in the arts and have that endurance and that willingness to hustle and all of those things that come together to make, you know, you an artist in the world. It's like, what are we doing with this thing, you know? And you're doing a lot of stuff, but you're also making hair masks out of DNA.